Hey, this is Josías. So most organizations use web forms, just like this one here. Web forms, online web forms, are an easy way to retrieve lead and customer data so that people that have some kind of interest in your offering get in touch with you. Now the problem comes after or once a lead has submitted a web form, and it's called engagement. That's the problem. We all face some kind of engagement issues, which is getting these leads and these customers to pay attention to what we have to share, what you have to share, so that you can continue effectively with the sales process. Now, today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can automatically create a personalized and dynamic landing page, and how you can automatically and at scale add a personalized video call to action to any video, so that you can engage with leads whenever they fill or complete a web form like this one here. All right. So our goal is to connect a web form to the personal platform, okay? So that whenever this web form is submitted by a lead, our platform automatically creates a video and a landing page with personalized information, so that you can accelerate your sales process by increasing customer engagement. Make sense? All right. So for this demonstration or tutorial, or in this tutorial, I am going to connect this web form here from Google Forms, right, to or with the Pirsonal platform. Pirsonal is a personalized video marketing tool or software that allows you to create personalized videos, interactive video calls to action, and dynamic landing pages at scale automatically in a flexible way that basically adapts to any workflow. If you have digital data, you can use it with Pirsonal to increase customer engagement and accelerate sales. And I'm going to teach you how. So again, in this case, we're going to connect this web form so that whenever this web form is submitted, the Pirsonal platform automatically instantly creates personalized content. And the way we're going to connect these two tools, Google Forms and Pirsonal, is through Zapier. You don't have to use Zapier if you don't want to. That's totally fine. It's just a convenient way for me to create this tutorial demonstration. You can also use other tools like Integrately or ConnectIT, Integromat, or any other tool that offers similar integrations. All right. In my personal case, personal with an E, not with an I, I use Zapier a lot, and a lot of our clients use Zapier as well. So that's why it is quite easy for me to create this demonstration right now. All right, so let's increase customer engagement. Whenever a lead completes or submits this web form here, we want to automatically create a personalized video call to action like this one here, right? And a personalized landing page or dynamic landing page like this one here. And let me tell you a bit more about this. We are going to change this background image that you see here. All right. Oh, my mistake. We're going to change this background image that you see here based on the type of lead. And we're going to change the background video played here as well based on the type of lead as well. Okay. And obviously all this content will be personalized as well, but I am going to play a bit more with the assets so that you can see some of the options you have available. All right. So let's go quickly over the web form. In this case, we have first name, program of interest. So MBA International Marketing, MBA Product Management, MBA Data Science. And then what's your position? Chief Technology Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Product Officer, other, right? And then language, English and Spanish. I could obviously add more data fields like email, last name, country, and so on, but I want to keep it easy, just that you see like the minimum, let's say, with some of the fields here, and how you can easily apply creativity to contextualize the content a bit better and increase conversions. All right, you with me? Cool. Great. So the first step here would be, once you have established your strategy, and by strategy I mean also defining, I want to increase sales by X%, and I want to accelerate my sales process from 3 months to 2 weeks. Be specific, okay? And also define the target audience, define the type of content this target audience needs, segment all you can, okay? Segmentation, for example, helps increase sales through email marketing campaigns by 70% more or less, depending on the industry. So the first step, once you have defined that strategy, is to create a Personal Player project. I'm going to focus this video on Personal Player. Personal Player is Personal's interactive video player that allows you to automatically add personalized calls to action to your videos, and also helps you to create dynamic or personalized landing pages for these videos so that you can scale your sales process, empower your marketing automation workflow with personalized content, personalized multimedia content, and because of this, increase engagement and accelerate sales. So I'm going to focus right now on our personalized interactive video player, which is Personal Player. You come here to my templates, then new Personal Player, and we're going to create a new project. I'm going to name this project something like MBA. Let's say we want to sell an MBA. We want to engage with MBA leads. Form 01. All right. Then I will not use a webhook in this example, but you could, to connect our application to any third-party application like ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, Salesforce, MailChimp, and so on. Okay. And in this case, I'm going to do something a bit different. As you can see here, the next step is to select the background video. This background video can be either dynamic, which is the option that comes here by default, or it could be what we call a template media. What's the difference between dynamic and template media? Dynamic media, it's when the background content will be provided at runtime. This means that you'll be providing the video URL, the source video URL at runtime. And template media means that you're going to provide a fixed content that would be either hosted by Pirsonal for you, or you will be providing a URL, or you'll be providing the Amazon S3 bucket information and the file information, or, as I mentioned earlier, already hosted by Pirsonal. In this case, I want to show a different type of background, a different background video based on either what these guys here will be choosing, so what the lead will be choosing, international marketing, product management, data science, or maybe based on the position, Chief Technology Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Product Officer, other, all right? So I want to show a different background video, okay, depending on who this individual is. I also want to show a different image here, depending on who this individual is. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. So, dynamic. Let's save this template. All right. Now, I am not going to use our campaign tool. Our campaign tool is a tool that allows you to create personalized videos, interactive videos, and dynamic landing pages using a CSV or Excel file. What I'm going to use right now is Zapier. Zapier is a tool that helps you move data from one application to another application through integrations, basically, and with a visual builder, let's say, automation builder. If you don't want to use Zapier, you can replicate something similar using other tools, and even our API. It depends on what's best for you, okay? In this case, I'm going to use Zapier. So what you would do in Zapier, you can start with a free Zapier account. If you don't have one, is click here, create Zap. And let's create a new Zap from the beginning, from scratch. A Zap is basically it is one trigger and at least one action. Okay, in Zapier you always have you always have one trigger and at least one action. In this case, the trigger will be Google Forms. You could use any of the tens of form applications that connect that are in Zapier, that connect to Zapier. Okay, in this case I'm using Google Forms because it is free and it works just fine for this demonstration. But you can use Typeform, JotForms, any of these tools. All right. The trigger will be that whenever there is a new response in the spreadsheet, because Google Forms works connected to Google Sheets, then we'll automatically create content. The trigger is new response in a spreadsheet. Click continue. And you need to choose your account. Click continue and choose the document. As I mentioned, Google Forms works with Google Sheets. Okay, so earlier I submitted this form, and here is what I submitted. Okay, so this is what Zapier will show in just a moment as a sample data. Click continue. If you use any other tool that is not connected to Google Forms, to Google Sheets, you might just see the results right away. Conceptually speaking, it's exactly the same. In the end, we're talking about structured data. Now let's test the trigger. What Zapier will do now is the tool will bring data from this document here. All right. Here is the data. Let's click continue. And now let's create the action. Now, you would think that for this action, I would select personal right away, but not. I'm going to do something different. As I mentioned earlier, I want this image in the background here and the content, the background video here, to be dynamically chosen or personalized based on the information that the user selects here. Okay, why? Because I want the content to be as contextualized as possible to increase engagement. Higher engagement usually translates into faster sales or better sales, and that's what I want to get with this example. Okay, so in order to do that, I am going to choose a tool called Formatter by Zapier. You can use, you don't have to do it this way. This is just a simple way for me to do it right now, but you could have the data parsed or structured in a different way that is more convenient. It's just about how the files are named. I'm going to transform the way the files are named based on the responses submitted by the users. To do that, I'm choosing Formatter here by Zapier, and the utilities option here. Click continue, and I am going to choose the lookup table option here. Why? Let me show you why. As you can see here, we have two fields, the lookup table and the result that we want to show if this one here takes place. So what I'm going to tell this platform is that based on what? Based on the program interest. Actually not. Based on the buyer, well, this is not buyer persona, but based on the segmented audience, I want to show a different background video content. So if it is a chief technology officer, I'll show certain content that I'm about to bring from here, from my other screen. If it is technology officer, it will be this background video here. All right. You could also use HLS for adaptive streaming or any other format. If it is a chief marketing officer, I want to show a background video that is more specific for that profile. And I have it here, copy URL. I could also just change these words instead, okay? But in this case, since what I'm getting from the web form is Chief Marketing Officer, I prefer doing this. But if I had just MBA Marketing here, for example, maybe I could just use the URL in a later stage instead of doing this. And then for this other guy, Chief Product Officer, I'm going to show the video for the product people. All right. And if there is, if the user selects other, the fallback option would be just the same video for the product guy. Okay. I'm going to name, oh sorry, I need to tell, I forgot to do this before, apologize for the confusion. This would be based on what's your position. That's the lookup key. And I'm going to name this step background video. Let me name it background. Apologize. Background video. There we go. All right. Now I'll continue. Let's test it. Personal allows you a lot of flexibility, which means that all the content you see here, even the content that is shared in the metadata when you share the content online, like through WhatsApp, Facebook, and so on, can also be personalized. One of our core values, let's say, is giving you that flexibility so that you can create the right type of content, no matter the scenario. Okay, so in this case, the data, the sample information here is for this guy here, Chief Technology Officer, for which we selected this background video here called MBA data. All right, so we are going to continue by adding another step, and now I am going to configure the what should happen with this image here based on, in this case, based on the program of interest. What I did for this example is that I created different images. One that says marketing, as you can see here. Let me open it in a different screen. Copy the URL. So for example, the background image here, you can apply this. I mean, if you're a hotel, if you are in education, if you sell services, it doesn't really matter. Okay, this one says marketing. Here's another one. If the user selects product, and I have another image here. If the user selects just the data science MBA when submitting the web form data. Okay. So I'm gonna add another step here, similar to the one I just added a moment ago, which would be formatter by Zapier. Again, there are many ways to get to the same place. It's just the best way, what works best for your brain, for the way you operate. I'm going to choose the action, which is utilities, and then continue. And now I am going to choose, let's choose what I want to transform, which is the lookup table. And here the key, the lookup key would be program of interest, because based on the program of interest here, I want to show a different image in the landing page, just like we did in this example here. So I'm gonna copy paste those fields from here in this case. No, not this one. From here. I'm copying these fields. I'm gonna add them first and then I'll add the URLs. That will be faster. There we go. Copying those fields. One more. In this case, it's limited to up to 3 options because those are the options I added here, but in the previous one I added like an order here just in case there is a position we are not taking into consideration, okay, which could happen. So there is no need for the fallback value here. Now let's add the URLs. So for the data one, we are going to use, this image here. If we are talking about marketing, this one here. And again, there are many ways to do this. I'm choosing the most expensive one because with Zapier, each step here, each action costs money, but just because it is faster right now, not because it is the best way. I would probably do it in a better, in an easier, not easier, in a more cost-effective way if I had to. Make a mistake here. And now product management, which is this one here. Well, I'm copying it, I'm bringing this URL from my other screen. All right. So I could just have one general formatter that changes marketing, and that's it, for example. And I could use the same one with these guys here as well. But I mean, there are many ways to get to the same place. Continue, and now we're going to test it, and after that we're going to add the steps with the personal application, and that would be it. Although I'm going to change the name for this guy here. I'm going to name it banner image. Okay. We're going to continue, and we're going to add one more step, which in this case is personal. Personal here, just choose the latest app available. And the action is create personalized videos, and this applies to the whole platform. So this means creating real personalized videos with, personalized images, audios, videos, text, and so on, like rendered videos. Also applies to when you only use our video player, interactive video player, the personal player, to add personalized calls to action to any video at scale, and also applies to the landing pages. It's all the same process, same API call for those that are more technical, same connection for any of our existing integrations or third-party integrations as well. What changes is the fields that are available for personalization depending on the template or project that you have chosen. In this case, I chose a template that has one background source for the video that is dynamic. And that's it. And obviously the player and the landing page. The first time you do this, you will need to connect your personal account. Mine is already connected. You will find your credentials if you go here under settings. If you go to settings, you'll find your account ID and account secret. Okay, that's your credentials for any integration with the personal platform. Simply follow the steps provided by Zapier. Now you continue. And select the template or project you have created. This is the one I just created, MBA Form 01. And now let's map the fields. First name would be simply the first name from here. I'm not using the last name field. I'm not using the email fields in this case. I could. And if you use any of these three fields, any of them, you would find the contacts listed here in the people section, which gives you analytics on a contact basis. Like if the user has seen the video or not, or seen the call to action or not, it shows that at a glance. Custom metadata is extremely recommended, in my opinion, because this is an easy way to send data from Pirsonal to a third-party application. So basically, you grab data. Let's say you grab data from this web form, and but you use ActiveCampaign to manage your marketing communications and CRM and so on. In that case, what I would do is to send data from Google Forms to Pirsonal and from Pirsonal to ActiveCampaign, so that I can get more customer data into ActiveCampaign and also create better messages for the emails and so on. How? You would use the custom metadata field here. So let's say that I want to save something like this. Program of interest. I would do something like this and we'll just simply map it. And this way, this information would be saved in Pirsonal so that you can use it with third-party applications in the future. So I strongly recommend doing that because it might save you lots of time in the future, and you'll create better messages like that as well. The latest, not those. Maybe what's your position? So I'm basically mapping these fields, so that they are then saved in Pirsonal and I can use them later in other automations. If I'm not mistaken, there is one for language. All right, so actually with this one here, when would you like to start? I could do something similar to what I did here to create other messages. Probably to create a more targeted call to action based on the time. Example, if the lead says here that he wants to start right away, the call to action cannot be something like, yeah, download this, fantastic document about the MBA. No. It should be something about calling now, or click here, we call you right away, because the program is about to start. It's a really hot lead. But if it is 6 months, probably needs a different treatment. If it is 12 months, this person needs lots of education, lots of engagement, lots of contacting like this lead. So that whenever the right time comes, maybe 1, 2, 3 months prior to when the program starts, this lead is really hot and you can actually convert. So what I would do if this was like a production campaign, like a real campaign or real automation, is to take also this into consideration to create different type of messages that I would use later on in the call to action and other copies basically in the landing page or email and so on. Keywords is not that relevant in this case. I don't want to use it right now because I'm using already custom metadata. It's a better idea, more appropriate, better structured. And now we're gonna have here, you can see we have a field called background video, and this is because when I created the template, I saved the template with the option for the background video to be dynamic media, which means that I can change the source of the video here in the background. So I am going to use this option here, which will be populated or mapped based on whatever the user chooses here. Chooses here. Okay. Depending on these options here, one or another background video will be used. Landing page logo. Let me get it from my other screen. Let me get my Acme logo. I'm gonna use this one. And what about the binary image? As I mentioned, the more contextualized the content, the better. So I am going to use the binary image that I'm grabbing from the other field, from the previous action step. That way, this background image here changes based on the program of interest, data, and so on, okay? Data, we have product, and marketing. So this will change based on the program of interest here. Why? Again, the more contextualized, the better. Video title, I'm going to use what I already did here just to save time. So I don't want to take more of your time, but I want you to get lots of value from this video. First name, comma, this one, sorry. And I can see something I did here when I did earlier, which is that all this will be dynamic. Okay, so when I get it from here, first name with the program of interest, program, you go up. Not a fantastic copy, but you get it, right? I just want to show the fields here. And here we're going to do something similar. We are going to do as a, and then get position with kind of lift your game and advance in your career. Okay, so as a position with an MBA something something, you can uplift your game and advance in your career. Not the best copy, but you get it, right? Landing page embedded content. What I usually recommend is that the content from the video, the content, like if there is any call to action in the video file itself, in the audio, usually the call to action in the video player here, Personal Player, the content here and the content here and the content here, all of them point at the same direction. Why? Because it increases your chances to convert. So less confusion, one specific goal. I'm not doing that right now, just because I'm not thinking about the copy, but this is what I would recommend from a strategy perspective, right? I'm going to embed some content from my Calendly. I usually use the same in my videos. Calendly. But again, what I would recommend, if this was a production campaign or workflow, is that if it is 1 month, if the user, for example, here selects within 1 month, it would probably be, click here, we call you right away, or chat with me right away. If it is 6 months, it might be something like, watch this webinar about, or probably something about a webinar or similar. And if it is 12 months, probably webinar, downloading a case study, something similar, right? So take that into consideration because it increases the chances of conversion. Then I'm not going to use these fields here. Custom landing page. You could modify the landing page content like color and like using this yellow and so on, using custom CSS. And this is what this field here is about. Usually if you're a web designer, that's a good fit for you. An image in link share is the image that you see when you share the content through Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on, like the preview. In this case, now that we have it, I'm going to use the banner image as that image, so that if the user sees this content shared or shares this content, this is the image that is shown in the preview. Okay, not an amazing image again, but serves the purpose for this demonstration. Now, player call to action type. We're almost there. I'm going to choose text. You can also use custom HTML. Okay, this takes a couple of seconds to update based on the way you selected here. Just give it some time. Sometimes it gets stuck. You can refresh the page. Depends on I guess your browser and Zapier. Now, Call to action body text, I am going to use the one I already have here. I do not know right now if it is great or not, but again, my main goal is to help you see the process. So first name, comma, let me copy this, let me paste this, sorry, and let's learn how other MBA international marketing peers advance in their careers with this program. Again, you would usually create a call to action that is specific, contextualized, and personalized whenever it is possible, that is related to this content here, this content here, this content here, okay? Or that at least somehow everything else leads towards this click here, okay? And in this case, what I would do is to do it based on the time here, because of the feel of urgency. Now, call to action body text, but I'm not doing that right now just to save time, but you have the concept there. I'll leave it with you. I'm gonna write here, download case study. I would also personalize this as well, based on, as I mentioned, the data from the web form, and because in the end this information here helps you create some kind of profile of this person. You know, this is a chief marketing officer, you know that this person wants to start in 6 months as an example, and that's even more important than the name. This information here is more important than the name, in my opinion. The name helps you to create some to grab this person's attention, but this information here helps you contextualize who this person is at a glance at the beginning. Okay, so use this information here to create a more contextualized message that would help you accelerate the conversion. Call to action button URL, just use our landing page, our website, sorry. What you would do in this case as well is HTTP. What you would do in this case as well is, for example, to personalize this URL here which is this button here, based on what this person wants to get. So if it is download case study, maybe it is a case study for chief marketing officers. Whatever is a good fit when they want to start in 6 months, and so on. So again, personalize, contextualize, even more important, all you can. Call to action start time and end time. This is when you want to display the call to action if it is based on time. I don't want to use this right now. Open call to action on click, usually yes. This is whenever the user clicks in these 3 dots here. All right, so if I do this, it shows the call to action. Show call to action when pausing video, usually yes. And what this does is that if I am playing this video and I pause it, it shows the call to action. This is highly effective because people do not expect that and do not expect any type of contextualization or personalization. So it works really well. Pause video with call to action, usually yes. This is what it does here, that the video just paused or stops when the call to action is displayed. Because they are, with the HTML one, for example, usually depending on the creative assets, you will want the call to action to be displayed and the video to continue being played. Or if you have someone saying like, hey, click in the following link, and that's when the call to action is displayed, while the person continues talking, that's when you want to use that option in the false mode. Allow call to action to close, usually yes, from a user experience perspective. Only if you're using the HTML call to action, and it is like content that is always displayed in the video, like a fixed button or something. In those cases, you want to block this option. And then post-roll call to action. This is a call to action at the end of the video. I usually recommend this. Okay, let's continue. And our next step is to test it. All right, let's test it. As a reminder, we are creating personalized dynamic landing pages with videos that have personalized calls to action. And these landing pages will have a dynamic background or personalized background image here. All right, and the video player, the personal player, will show a different background video source or background video depending on the position of this person. So the banner image in the landing page will be chosen depending on any of these options chosen already, and the position will change depending on this. As I mentioned, we could also change the call to action, the call to action, the URL, everything based even on this, which I think it would work really well. Right, back to Personal, sorry, to Zapier. Let's test this. Scroll down. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna copy this and open a new tab. vid.personal.com/video ID. Marketing. There we go. So this background image here, the banner image, is chosen depending on the program of interest. So remember that we have here a few of them. Well, I made 3 images, one for product, another one for data, and another one for marketing. And then the background video here is shown or displayed, sorry, based or depending on the position. Chief Technology Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Product Officer. Then we have John with the program name. You go up, and then as a position with an program name, program of interest, your career, you can uplift your game and advance your career. So all this is automatically created, and then we have the call to action. John learned how other MBA international marketing peers advanced in their careers with this program. Download case study as an example, obviously, right? You could use any other type of content, also link to a telephone number or link to an email. There are many ways. In the end, the main goal here is thinking about the right type of content that you need to engage with each individual and at scale, depending on the information you have access to. So you'll use the information you have access to from this web form to engage with these leads. And that's it. Now, if I am happy with these results, I would turn this automation on, and that's it. Whenever this web form is submitted, sent, or used by online leads, the personal platform, the personal software, will automatically create personalized video calls to action and personalized or dynamic landing pages to increase lead engagement and help you accelerate the sales process. The same concept I'm sharing here can be applied to any web form out there or to any other type of data structured. So structured data, sorry, would be like a CRM or any other application. In the end, we are always talking about some kind of trigger, whatever the trigger is, you name it. And then in some cases, you might transform the data to create better or more granular content, and then our platform would automatically create the content. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can also go to support.personal.com to find other resources, articles, guides, and if you have any questions, we are here to help. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.